Hello, everybody. Welcome
Yes, please.
to this MIPCOM 2025 session, Entertainment Flipped Vertical Series and the Future of Global Storytelling. We're extremely fortunate to have four gentlemen to my left who are doing really interesting things in this space. And I think the potential of microdramas, the interest in it is reflected in the number of people in this room. So we've got 29 minutes and 30 seconds to get through a huge amount. So let's get started. We're going to do some brief intros, set the scene a little bit, and then find out what these guys are working on and the partnership that they've recently struck. First of all, let me work to my left. Anatoly Kastyanov, co-founder and co-CEO of HOLYWATER. Next to Anatoly, there's Bogdan Nesvit, co-founder and co-CEO of HOLYWATER. We've got Fernando Zev,
I'll do that.
president of Fox Entertainment Studios. You can all do these. And at the far end, we've got Julian Franco, president of operations and strategy for Fox Entertainment. So I think we've got a clip or a little sizzle that we can play first, just to give you guys an idea of what these guys are working on, the types of shows, and then we'll get into the discussion proper. So if we could play the sizzle, please. Good stuff. So I'm going to start off with the HOLYWATER guys, and we're just going to sort of work out how the microdrama industry works. But before we do that, I just want, if we can have some hands in the audience, who's watched a microdrama before? Okay. Has anyone produced one? Okay, good stuff. So yeah, we'll do a little bit of scene setting. These guys can explain what the microdrama and vertical video space is. Bogdan, let's start with yourself. Tell us about HOLYWATER. You were formed in 2020. You've had some pretty meteoric growth since then. Tell us about what apps you do and the types of shows that you're producing.
Yeah, so think about HOLYWATER as entertainment network. We founded the company in 2020 in Ukraine. Right now, it's a network of 60 million users, and we have different apps, different content forms. In the center of the ecosystem lies our books platform, My Passion. Right now, it's top one independent books publishing platform in the world outside of China. So this is where we incubate our IPs. We test a lot of books, we get data, and then the best books we turn into video series, and vertical video series for the platform MyDrama. MyDrama right now is top one vertical video streaming service outside of China, in America and in Europe. We've produced so far around 100 series, and we have tens of millions of users growing fast. Apart from that, we have R&D. Within our R&D, we are trying to figure out how can we speed up our production tenfold and how we can drop our cost tenfold. So as you can imagine, we are using a lot of AI there in the basically produce video series with AI, and this helps us also to pre-test our video series for MyDrama to get data and then to get high confidence stuff to MyDrama. But instead of saying a lot of words, we are just going to show the video which shows our ecosystem. But the facts that you should remember is that we have 60 million users growing fast. The team is 250 people around the globe in different countries. Yeah, let's watch the video.
If we can play.
We are HOLYWATER, the company leading the charge in how content is made and consumed. We're here to disrupt Hollywood. We craft stories and tell them through innovative formats, vertical video series, personalized interactive books, AI vertical series, and AI heroes. Meet the future of video streaming. MyDrama, vertical, fast-paced, interactive, personalized. Watch anywhere. My Passion. Engaging, interactive, personalized books and audiobooks. Read your way, at your pace. My muse, inspired by humans, generated by AI. Anime, true crime, fantasy thrillers, and more. My Hero, your AI heroes brought to life. Experience their world through series, books, and games. Our vision is to enable everyone to be a creator by blending creators' imagination and AI efficiency. Let's disrupt Hollywood together.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
Really good stuff. If we can turn it over to the Fox guys. Julian, maybe you can explain to us, because these guys have just done a really interesting deal revealed just over the past couple of days. So you guys are partnering up, working together. In terms of the allure of microdrama vertical video, what was it that made you want to work with HOLYWATER?
What made us want to work with HOLYWATER is mostly these two guys, right? Getting to know them and getting to know, you can feel like Bogdan's excitement and the passion for the company. I think that's always really important, right? So when you decide to partner with somebody, you typically make a bet on the founder, and in this case, the two founders and the things that they're doing. I think what makes vertical video interesting for us is it is a format that is quickly building a lot of audience. So for us at Fox, what we believe in hyper-serving a customer, hyper-serving the viewer, hyper-serving the audience. And as a company, while we have a number of digital platforms that are owned, on the entertainment side, we're pretty platform agnostic, and we don't make any judgments about what the customer wants to watch or what they're seeking. What we try to do is meet them wherever they might be. And we recognize that vertical video is an emerging and very quickly developing format.
Good stuff. We're going to talk a little bit perhaps about the deal itself, because it's a really interesting deal. I'm going to try and get some details out of you in terms of sort of how big the deal is, how much you're investing. There's 200 shows that I think you're going to be producing with these guys, so there's lots to unpack on that front. But if we can just sort of set the landscape a little bit in terms of how microdramas and how HOLYWATER's platform sort of actually works in terms of monetization, commissioning, that type of thing. Bogdan, probably a question for yourself. The production side of things, talk to us about the commissioning process, I guess, in the old school sense. How does it work in terms of the shows that get onto screens? Is that Anatoly?
Yeah, so basically we own the whole cycle. We own production, we incubate IP, and we distribute them. So we basically streaming platform. And in terms of, we have different approaches with different productions, since we produce shows like in 3 months, like 70 minutes done in 3 months. We can iterate very quickly, we can get data very quickly, and that way we can take more risk and work with a lot of different production in that way. And at the end, we still own IP of what series produce. And in terms of monetization, we lean towards subscription. So majority of revenue comes from subscription, Netflix-like subscription, and we still provide, I would call it, a gamified experience. So users can pay with coins, with transaction, and they can also pay with their time watching advertising. So this gamified experience helps them to convert and get content without committing too much, and that helps us to monetize different type of audience.
And so just talk to us about the packages, that HOLYWATER offers. So if I'm a subscriber, how much are we talking about, sort of, monthly, annual subscriptions?
Yeah, I mean, they have like different prices right now. So on average, it's like $30 per month. $30.
$30 a month.
Yeah.
So there's money here.
Yeah. And in terms of, you can also buy the whole series for like $15, $20. So it usually depends on the window of the show. If it's like premiere, so when we just launch the show, it usually costs more. And at the end, we decrease prices to get more users on board.
Okay, good stuff. Let's talk about the Fox partnership specifically. I don't know which one of you would like to answer. Probably, I'm not sure if it should be maybe for...
Just toss it, we'll take it.
Fernando, should we do Fernando first? Let's talk about the shows. Let's talk about the 200 shows. So we've got, the partnership includes a production of 200 shows.
Yeah, and a few things I want to say. First of all, and to add to what Julian said, it's very much in the DNA of Fox to be bold, to be forward-thinking in storytelling, and we see this as a new medium that allows us to do that and to be really forward-thinking and bold. when it comes to it, obviously, and that's one of the reasons why we partnered with these guys who are clearly very entrepreneurial and at the forefront of this new way of storytelling that we're excited and engaged by. To answer your question, the initial set is to do 200 of the shows in partnership with them and for their platforms. And one of the incredible things that we think will happen is that we will be able to experiment and iterate because of the fast pace of production, which, as maybe a lot of the audience knows here, we have that background also at Fox. And one of the ways that I came into Fox with the team at Mar Vista, being able to reverse engineer, but really move really quickly at scale into creating these stories. So we're taking a lot of that know-how from a production infrastructure with the tech that they have, and really the appealing thing, as I said, is that we're going to be able to iterate and get a lot of good feedback loop from directly the consumers that they serve as to what's working, what's not working, how do we shift. And on top of that, we're bringing obviously the full weight of Fox with our talent relationships, our IP, to really innovate in the way that we're telling stories.
And you've got 2 shows that are already in the works. So there's 2 shows shooting in Georgia, I think it is, or Atlanta.
We have 2 shows already and a pipeline that's going strong. We've already activated development on over 10 shows right now. So this is a moving line. It's happening. It is absolutely happening. We're excited. We have a team dedicated already to it. We're partnering with some of the greatest talent that we have. And also very important to mention, we believe that in this partnership, we now have a real advantage to partner with others that have great storytelling, especially really good IP, talent relationships, so that we can super serve the audience now that you have the production infrastructure and obviously the technology to push it out. So we are very open to partnerships.
Good stuff. And I just want to talk about the investment itself. So there's not a huge amount of detail out there about how this, the actual deal and what that involves. There's 200 shows. Can you tell us anything else about? I mean, this is an equity stake. You guys are taking a stake in HOLYWATER. Is that how the model is set up?
It is an equity stake in HOLYWATER.
Okay. Is there anything else we can talk about on that front, or?
I don't think so.
No.
Joint incentive to grow. How's that?
Good stuff. I like that. Okay. Let's talk about the production mechanism and what it is about the vertical video market that is really exciting. I mean, we've seen it, boomed in China. It's come across to Europe, come across to the US. In terms of Europe and the growth that you guys are seeing elsewhere in the world, I mean, maybe let's talk to yourself, Julian, about where you see that growth coming from. Are you going to be concentrating in the US in terms of the types of shows you're producing, or are they going to be for a sort of global audience?
We're going to be primarily focused in the US. I think one of the things that we're seeing is just the quick adoption in America of vertical video. And I think if we think anecdotally about how we each consume content, one of the things that we believe is that vertical video is not necessarily directly competitive with the primary way that we exhibit content, right? I would say its primary competition is more social. So it's more an alternative to doom scrolling for everybody out there. So it's one of those things where for us, what we see is an opportunity to be able to tell stories in like a new space and take some incremental time back for produced content rather than from UGC that you tend to see on social. And we think there's a big opportunity to do that in the US. And with the technology that these guys are building and have, and I'm sure that content will also get localized to be able to serve customers globally.
Good stuff. You mentioned sort of talent, and on the Hollywood side of things, at the moment, I think it's fair to say microdramas are, I mean, Bogdan, perhaps you can talk to this, it's fairly low-cost production in terms of the budgets for these shows. What sort of budgets are we talking about, and sort of how do you monetize that effectively? Is it
budgets for production, yeah?
Yeah.
So I think it's, first of all, it's really important to distinguish between microdrama and vertical video series. We are specifically referring to them verticals because microdrama is basically 5 tropes recycled in different settings. This is what our Chinese competitors are doing. One of the reasons we are doing partnership with Fox actually is to elevate the niche to verticals and to build the next generation of video streaming and to tap into a huge hundreds of billions dollars market in the verticals. That being said, this means that we are going to utilize talent, we are going to utilize more high-quality productions, and some of our budgets can be actually higher. But the average budget right now is around 150K per series. This is the average that we have. But we are ready to increase the budget. For example, if we get like A-list celebrities or influencers who can bring their audience to our vertical video series, or if we, for example, can elevate the quality, or if we can go beyond drama and go into thriller, horror, action, and other genres. So the budgets will vary from 150K up to, you can name the figure, but we are ready to pay more as long as it's justified by expanding the niche, elevating the quality, and bringing the new audience to the platform.
And in terms of the partnership with you guys on the Fox side, obviously you guys have got those talent contacts and well vested in Hollywood. Are we expected to see sort of Hollywood talent appearing in microdramas? Is that the sort of direction of travel?
Yes, there's a potential path to that for sure, and we're already in active discussions with some of the talent that we work with, that we've had the privilege of having longstanding relationships with, for not just them in front of the camera, but also for them to participate in the storytelling aspect. And it allows for, let's not forget, we toss around the word talent. Talent are really, really talented people who have this like insatiable appetite to tell stories. This just opened their aperture, so the conversations are awesome.
Can you tell us who you're talking to?
You can just imagine. Just look at go to our booth, pick a face.
And in terms of sort of, I'm interested in the business models on that side of things, because I mean at the moment the budgets are relatively low for the number of episodes we're producing, and I can work that out. Once we start getting the talent involved, those prices are going to go up. The cost of those shows are going to increase.
I mean, I would expect. Yes, but also the platform and the audience will grow to support it. I think there's an evolution in the way that content gets made and the types of stories that it can support. If you think back to even linear television, right, or premium pay TV, what those early originals look very different than the iconic characters that we were eventually introduced to in those types of stories. So everything takes a path of evolution that I would expect to see here. I don't know what the floor might look like for a certain level of talent or what the ceiling might be. I think our job is to make the very best stories that we can for the audience that exists on the platform, to grow it and to be able to super serve them at whatever price points it can afford. I think to Fernando's point, what it becomes about is we have a 100-year history of working with the very best creatives in the industry. And for creatives, it's about being able to have opportunities to be able to tell stories, exhibit those stories, and distribute those stories out into the world. And what this does is it gives them a medium, a format to be able to iterate quickly. Right? It's not, you don't have to shepherd a story along for 3, 5, or 10 years. You don't have to wait 2 years to get feedback on that story, right? It's something that can be produced relatively quickly. You can get feedback on it from customers. And if there's demand there for it, you can follow it up with something else. And I think those types of opportunities are exciting for any storyteller.
Yeah. If I may add here, so just a couple of numbers here for your reference. So our biggest IP, our biggest vertical video series that we invested 150K into, has made 20 million so far. $20 million so far. This is more than average box office in the United States, and it has made 7 billion impressions monthly, impressions on social media. And if we can increase the budget by like 30, 50K to get talent and to increase the probability that the series can become the hit like this, I think we are ready to do this. So basically the production budgets are really low, like 150K, this is what you invest, and you can get 20 million hit. So increasing the budget by 50K, I don't think that this is something that is going to hurt economy too much if it increases the probability of getting a hit just by 10%.
Really interesting. I mean, I'm interested in how this partnership is going to sit within the sort of Fox ecosystem as well, because you're always very nimble, you're agile, you react quickly to market trends, and this is a bit of an example of it. Are you expecting, the shows will sit on HOLYWATER, of course, but are they going to come back into the sort of the Fox ecosystem? Will we see them on Tubi or any of the other platforms, or is this purely producing for HOLYWATER?
Julian's going to take it. Go ahead.
I think I would come back to our job is to super serve customers. At first, the primary focus is for exhibition and distribution on the HOLYWATER platform. And our job is to help these guys grow, build, maintain that audience there. And I think once we have an idea of what I suppose windowing would look like in vertical video, then we would do our best to continue to try to take those stories and introduce those characters and stories to as many people as possible, wherever that audience might be, whether it's a Fox-owned platform or whether it's another platform. I think we tend to be a little bit bolder than most, and we tend to be a little bit agnostic about platforms, even when they are owned. And again, try to focus on the customer, focus on the audience.
Okay, good.
Serve the story.
Yeah, and in terms of sort of for producers in the room who might be looking to work with, be interested in getting into this industry, are you open to sort of third-party collaborations?
Yeah.
Or is this a bit of a vertical?
No, the answer is a resounding yes, which is what I said before. We consider ourselves to be really opening, from a studio perspective, to open the partnership to what this platform can do. And as they said, they're the leading platform in the world outside of China. And we have the infrastructure at the studio to make deals with third parties, to partner with people. And in particular, we are actively looking for great storytelling, for great IP that can translate into this, and talent relationships as well. So yes, the answer is yes.
And I think the thing I would add to it is there's a way to be able to connect stories, and there's probably a way to think about how vertical can help support storytelling between iterations of like either story or characters. And the other thing I would tell for any producers in the room is to, Bogdan said this earlier, is to separate microdrama from vertical. Right? Currently today, microdrama is something that the customer has a strong reaction to in a vertical video format. But that's one genre, and we think that's the beginning. Right? So when we think about like the Fox Entertainment studios and the capabilities that we have, and some of the ways that you might see us extending some of our brands and franchises, is how might unscripted come to life in vertical, right? We haven't solved that. We're excited about it. We're looking forward to it. And we think there's lots of opportunities for other people to think about it and partner with us in the same way.
Just to add to this point, because like the thing that I'm excited the most about is helping people to unlock their potential. This is the mission of the company HOLYWATER. And what we are creating now together with Fox, we are basically creating an ecosystem and platform for creators to come to us and to help elevate verticals to the next level and to build it into mainstream. And you can work with Fox, with their production expertise, with access to talent. And we are going to give access to our platform, to our huge user base. So what myself and Anatoly actually noticed when we first came to LA is that the supply and demand between talent and like talent, supply and demand for talent is actually unbalanced right now, because not a lot of stuff is being filmed in Hollywood right now, but there is so much talent. And I think this is a great opportunity for this talent to realize their potential. And if you're here, come to us. We are open to collaborations.
And I just want to touch on you guys. I mean, HOLYWATER, so you have My Drama as one sort of vertical of the business, but you also have an interesting AI-powered platform called My Muse. How is AI impacting what you're doing on microdramas, but vertical video in general? Anatoly, talk about that.
So basically, I would say there are two streams how AI helps us right now. So we have huge IP library of books, and we leverage AI to create AI verticals to test the idea, to see how audience responds, and actually it increases chance of series becoming hits. So the idea is to iterate, and even without committing any human resources, we can already iterate with AI and find out what audience want to see and what resonates with audience. That's our first stream. Second stream, there are already genres that can be disrupted, like true crime. We can basically produce high quality true crime with AI already. And with using VO3, Sora 2, those foundational closed open source models. And that's basically what we are doing. That's first part. And second part, we are exploring disrupting production itself, like with location, with any generative AI to help to produce 2, 3, 5 times cheaper than average cost right now. So it's second stream.
Okay. And the genres that are working with those shows that you're creating, I mean, at the moment, it seems romantic dramas, relationship dramas are doing really well. How do you sort of see, where are you seeing the sort of the green shoots of other genres? Where else are you seeing growth? Bogdan, perhaps, or Anatoly?
Yeah, so basically, I would say all genres work that create like one-to-one experience with viewer. So it's about being personal, like being even like guilty pleasure. So that's the new format. So people, the same as reading the book or comics, that's the same experience. And actually, we're already exploring horrors, action, young adults, and they work very well. So there are already new genres that perform. We're actually also filming unscripted shows, and to test this idea since it really resonates with our audience. And in general, I would say you can make work any genre to this vertical niche. And another big thing, IPs. Like what we are noticing that you can create vertical based on IP, and it actually can revive old IP as well.
So this is taking old IP, pre-existing IP, turning into a micro drama, and then.
Yeah, so create like new vertical based on this IP, and like people will go watch original IP as well. So it's also create like huge connection, engagement with audience as well. So you can basically tap into Gen Z, Gen A generation, and give them like high quality IPs through vertical series, because they are grown up on social media and they've been like with social media their whole lives, and they adapted to it, and they need just new way of acquisition into old IPs.
Interesting.
Can I jump into that?
Absolutely, Fernando, yeah.
I think this is what's so exciting about it, is because again, you're seeing these trend lines that are undeniable for anyone in the room. One is, as Julian said, the consumption of this and the dumb scrolling or whatever you want to, people that go, like all of us, go to our phones for a minute and all of a sudden it's been over an hour and we're still using our phone and now interacting with it. And then what they pointed out on their trip to LA is absolutely true, which is what's exciting about what he's saying as to the formats and the genres and IP, some IP that's currently dormant because there isn't enough current output for all the storytelling that's out there, for all the talent that's there. So those two very strong trends, and then figuring out obviously the underpinnings from a technological perspective and monetization is what's super exciting about this.
And where are we seeing, because we've seen it, as I say, we've seen it boomed in China, it's come across to the US where it's done extremely well. Are we seeing other countries, are there some other countries that you guys, especially on the HOLYWATER side, you're seeing beginning that consumption is beginning to really surge?
There are a lot of interesting markets. Like, for example, Tier 1 Europe is one of our biggest markets as well, after the United States, which is the biggest right now. But in terms of emerging markets that we are actively looking at right now, the first one is Latin America. There is a huge potential in Latin America, especially in telenovelas. For example, we just partnered with the company called Elefantec. Elefantec is like this telenovela production, and we will be tapping into this market together with them. We figured out that in order to go there, we need to produce local content. I think Southeast Asia is really interesting as well. The next market that can boom is actually India. India is a huge market, but you have to figure out, first of all, local content, and second of all, you have to figure out the monetization there, because subscription there won't work as well as it's working in the United States and Europe, for example. You have to figure out ads monetization, especially direct ad deals. So India, I think, is going to be a huge next market.
Good stuff. We've got about a minute left, so I just want to find out over the next couple of months what we're going to see from this partnership. We've got the shows in production at the moment. When are they coming? When are they going to be delivered? When can we see them on HOLYWATER? And what sort of timeline are we looking at on that?
Timeline is we're kicked off the timeline. We're going to see some deliveries happening before the end of the year already, and also, as we talked about, stay tuned in for some active announcements around our talent deals.
Okay, good stuff. And then for the HOLYWATER side, what's next for you guys? This is a really interesting deal, kicking off lots of exciting partnerships. What's on the cards?
Yeah, so we are basically preparing the setup for 2026 year to scale significantly. We want to reach 1 billion annual run rate next year. We want to build the leader, and we want to release at least 300 video series. That's a huge increase from 50 that we released this year. So a lot of work to do, but also we are going to experiment with new format. We are going to launch comic books and anime. Anime is a huge market, and it's ripe for disruption with new technologies. So there is a lot of stuff going on in the company now.
Thank you very much. I'm getting flashed to stop, so we'll have to wrap it up there. But please, put your hands together for Julian, Fernando, Bogdan, and Anatoly.
On the spot.
Thank you. Thank you very much.